Just like in any other business and merchant services, your offer is incredibly important. So how are we going to do that offer? How are we going to create the offer? How are we going to price the offer? What would an offer even be in merchant services? And this is the next level advanced stuff that we're going to give you a quick overview on right now. And then we're going to really get down into the exact components of the offer and exactly how we're going to create an incredible offer that, people would feel dumb saying no to, as people love to say online, right? So first things first, how are we going to price that offer? Well, first of all, we have to understand that there's only two ways to make more money in business. Well, technically three, but primarily two. We either sell more of something or we get, a higher price for that thing. Or what we can do technically is also, get cross sells and different things like that down the line from a customer that you've already sold. So there's technically three ways of making more money. So that's kind of it right there. So how are we going to get more people in the door, and how are we going to get them in for a higher price? Those are the two primary components of what we're going to be talking about when it comes to offer creation, because those are the actual deliverables from an offer. Now, what's the first thing we do when we get into a business and we're going to create an offer? Well, the first thing we need to do is we need to pick a market. We need to pick a market that's growing. And when I say that, I mean, like, you don't want to go pick a print magazine company, right? Because print magazines, they're not growing anymore. In fact, they're reducing by about 10% per year. And you're going to end up losing 10% market share per year, even if you're growing at a congruent rate throughout the time that you're in the business. So you don't want to be going after those businesses, not to mention they'd be fewer and further between for a merchant services company. But that being said, we also want an easy to target owner. Where can we find, a business that's easier to target in terms of getting through to that decision maker? Do we necessarily want to work with businesses that have longer sales cycles with boards of directors and different things like that? And then how can we present our offer to the right person in the right context? So if we need to have an entire board of directors to speak to in order to get them to switch their payment processing or use a software as a service platform, it might take 2, 3, 4 years in a large company to get something like that done. I can tell you my largest deal, $78 million per month, that took it took over a year. It was over a year in the works before I was able to actually close that deal. Well worth it? Yes. But it took a full year, so I wasn't able to go out and sell nearly as many accounts in other capacities. So we want to find an easy to target, primarily an easy to target in a growth industry. So like example, I'd say 50-60% of pizza shop owners, if you walk in the pizza shop, you're going to see them. Auto body shop owners, you walk in the door, oh, there's the owner. He's right there. He's almost always on scene. So you can find businesses like that with a super easy to target owner, and typically a growing industry, right? And especially industries that you personally might understand and be able to help them sell. So that'll be awesome. All right. So when we go to create our offer, what basis are we creating that offer on? Well, people only buy typically for three things: health, wealth, and relationships. So when we say this, if it makes them more healthy, that would be like fitness, food, different things like that. But here's the other thing. How can wealth correlate to health? Excuse me. Well, if I can save you a little bit of time with this POS solution, and I can also, save you a little bit of money with this POS solution, then you can buy back that time at the gym. You can buy back that time with your family, because now you don't have to do bookkeeping, accounting, and inventory. So now I'm buying you a little bit more health, because now you can go to the gym, you can be with your family, you can improve those relationships, and you can save money. Doesn't that sound great? You're not actually selling them, oh, I'll save you a couple bucks, because that's not going to hit everybody. That's only going to hit 1/3 of people. Only 1/3 of people really care about money, believe it or not. A lot of people say they care about money, and they care about money because they need a certain amount to survive. But beyond that survival point, there's been a million studies done that once people are making between 70 and 90 grand a year, they just don't care to make more money anymore. And that's, the majority of people. So we need to also, so this is kind of an order here, but I would say the hunger of your prospect. So you have to find a starving crowd. You have to find somebody who has a serious problem that you're able to solve. So the hunger of your prospect, I'd say multiplied by how good your offer is, multiplied by how good your persuasion skills are, equals your success rate. Your persuasion skills, by the way, could also be online. It could be how you write your copy. It could be your sales process in person. So these are all things to take into consideration. Now, the next step on our offer is we need to niche down. So, and like I said, this is an offer overview, but we need to niche down. So if we say, oh, we have payment processing, it's like, okay, well, great, everybody has payment processing. But now if we have payment processing for small business owners might look at it and say, okay, cool. And you might be able to charge a couple bucks for that, right? So maybe you can charge $1 for this. You can charge $10 a month for that because it's for small businesses. But what about payment processing for, enter a company here, for pizza places doing $50,000 per month or more, looking to save X in fees? Well, that's super niche down. So now we're able to charge maybe $100 a month for that, right? So this right here warrants 100x more just based off the name of your offer. So you need to check into the name of your offer. How are you naming your offer? If you're just another merchant services offer out there online, I promise you your click-through rate is probably garbage. Your ad is probably garbage. It's probably not doing very well. Because believe me, we've been there. And when we changed from here to here, our cost of acquisition went from nearly $700 an account to $200 an account. So it's pretty incredible how that works. And then also, I always say this, there's no point in being the second most expensive guy in the market. When I create my value stack and I even go sell to a pizza place, people are going in there giving away free POS systems. And that's cool because it actually makes sense. It's like, well, I can sell this. I can make $2,000 a month. The system only costs $4,000. I go, I can give them a couple $1,000 cash on top and still have a great, cost of acquisition versus lifetime value because I'm going to make $24,000 a year off this pizza place because they're doing $100,000 a month at a 4% cash discount. My margin is around 2%. So now I'm able to capture all that money back within 2 months. And then everything over that is gravy. But they have a cancellation policy in place that's $4,000, $5,000 to cancel. So if they cancel the deal, they cancel the deal. I get all my money back for the POS system, and now I can go resell that somewhere else, right? So I have zero risk, right? But what happens if I go in and I show them that I'm going to save them money on accounting, like I said, inventory costs. I'm going to save them 50% on delivery costs. So now instead of $20,000 per month, so $2,000 per month in delivery costs, now it's $1,000. We just saved them $12,000 per year. Okay, now we're going in from a position of power where we can say the POS system's $2,000, but for all the services that we're implementing, it's actually $4,000, and we're charging them $2,000 on top of that POS just because we're saving them so much money and bringing them so much value. So, like I said, there's no sense of being the second most expensive in the market. So, yes, couple psychological factors on why that is. If you have a bottle of wine, two identical bottles of wine, one has a $10 price tag on it, the other one has a $100 price tag on it. They've done so many double-blind studies on this. The $10 bottle of wine will always be perceived as worse than the one with the $100 label. Everybody's going to talk about how great the $100 wine is versus the $10 one. This is the same exact thing as in business. What ends up happening is people have a higher perceived value now for their POS system, right? Now they've overpaid by $2,000, but now they've invested into it financially, but they've also invested into it mentally. So they're going to get a better effect. What's going to happen is they're going to get better results. They're going to have much better results because they're going to be using all those integrations and implementations, and they're going to want to learn about this thing that they just paid $4,000 for big time. So it's going to end up getting you a better client. They're going to have better results. Everything is going to be better overall. So do not be the second most highly priced guy in the market. Make sure that your prices are high, but make sure you also justify it. Because now if you're charging an extra $2,000 for your POS system and it's just a basic implementation, you can go in and you can train that whole staff now. You can make sure that they're getting that value out of that POS system because you have the time to do it now. You're not scraping by and trying to rush through all this stuff because you gave it away for free and you need to go make your next sale now, or you're not, tying up your cash. Now what you've done is you've doubled your price. So now you can go acquire 10 more clients just for that, you know, the $2,000 that you got over, because you have a $200 cost of acquisition, which can be measured. So guys, I hope you take some of that into consideration. This is the overview for the creating offers section, and we're going to really break down a lot of these different things that we spoke about here today, because this is really generalistic, and we're really going to dive into this for you. So thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys in the next module.